Blessings, everyone. Sapo, the Audible One, the Success Scholar, Akeisha me. Thank you for tuning in, listening in. Man, sometimes, I have to realize that, as much as you attempting to uh, uplift our people, lift the community, uplift individuals, there are individuals out here that, unfortunately have developed a more of a defeatist psychology. And unfortunately, I don't believe sincerely that our ancestors have come through what we've come to remain a victim or oppressed or impoverished. I don't believe that sincerely that no system that is man-made can stay perfect. So just a second, I left the charger. How's it coming? So, uh, yeah, Charlie. Oops. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm sitting there reading, and one of my newest books that I'm reading, How to Hustle and Win. Uh, Very informative piece, and of course, you have Think and Grow Rich, a black choice. But and I don't want to dwell on individuals that have particularly, but I find that once you continue to gain the right knowledge and associate with the right individuals, uh, you begin to create options for yourself. You develop the 21st century skills and you get your priorities in order. And, when you know that you have a proper analysis and understanding, you just have to really put it out there. So there are some individuals out here. And I don't know where. These people get to these these philosophies. It's really, it's rather depressing actually that individuals can go through the process to read all the facts and figures, but then not position first and foremost themselves, as well as to give people, uh, you know, alternatives to slavery, economic bondage by offering people options. So I'm speaking today about Tone Talk and Yvette Carnell, who appear to have some unique insights, but for whatever reason, they're not, centered enough in terms of understanding the dynamics of wealth to position members within the community that are sincere and have a sincere desire to overcome the affliction and disease, the mind disease of poverty. And I'm certainly one that has an understanding of the structural dynamics and history. And actually, I'll be doing having a conversation coming really soon about how white folk got so rich. So that is actually coming up. So there are some factual things, but one thing I realized, human evolution and as well as history teaches that individuals do not necessarily have to stay in a particular position. So I'm sitting here reading this book, Marketing Black is the New Green, Marketing to Affluent African Americans. Now, um, it's very insightful. I mean, and there, I read something said that there's, I believe, 1 million Black African American households. Let me try to find it. 1 million African American households that make $50,000 or more a year. And just going back, I recall reading that there are some, what was it, 5% that made over $100,000 at one time. This was from, and not to suggest, of course, people can dissect these numbers, in terms of, what is true middle class or whatever. But, you're poor if you think you're poor, right? And in a global phenomenon of the world, I mean, most persons in the United States, by many people's measures, are have very high levels of wealth compared to the world, at large. The poorest people in the United States live better and longer than individuals. So I'm saying, and yes, there were structural and historic things that made these actually happen. But what's real is that no system is perfect. No system of maintaining control, economic control and impoverishment is perfect. And so, what the challenge, or what I'm offering as a challenge to both of these individuals, is to you know come up with real solutions. Hey, Janice, come up with real solutions. We don't need to hear the poor righteous teacher philosophy. We need you reading books like Think and Grow Rich. I mean, read chapters of that and apply these things. So I'm just putting it out there for those that are smart enough to listen. And I had to address these individuals because I mean it's unfortunate that we have a deep rooted poverty psychology, and this is why so many people are up against my movement, because again, I come from uh, you know I'm not going to say the streets like that, like I was totally impoverished, but when you are in a certain environments where you do not necessarily have the knowledge, the books that are essential, you begin to listen to people around you. And this is very unfortunate that many of these individuals, they get tens of thousands of dead listeners, people that spend time uh, in misery, in poverty, and frustration. Yes, it's really rather sad, that they don't get around people that are progressive. They don't show up at different things. They're not reading uh, the right books. So you're going to stay in a certain place if you don't want to do anything different, and you'll have a whole chorus full of poor people. Yeah, you're right. The system, or and not to say again, going back. I mean, not to say that things haven't happened, but I'm not gonna dwell. I mean, after you understand it, the question is, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do besides keep on preaching? This guy, I mean, he just did a video yesterday, ToneTalks, on there is no black middle class. Like, okay, and what? I mean, we're not going to suggest that you're necessarily equal in a context of to the Caucasian society, but are you going to just develop and or not develop and accept poverty? And don't work and just sit on your butt. What do you want to do? You want to get out here and get financially educated. Yes, I do believe that certainly that will have an effect. So again, these people are depressed and they look like they ready to just go get a drink, man. And they look like they just gonna go get a drink. Like, man, we are messed up. We can't do nothing. And I don't believe that's a good you know philosophy to have. About life. About whatever condition that's man made. The reality is that individuals can change certain conditions, but you're going to need resources. And yes, 21st century skills. Yes, you're going to have to, get particular skills and master particular crafts, as well as manage your resources that you have, right? No, not everything is going to be perfect, but um, just dwelling, man, spending 1 and 2 hours, on poverty discussions and of being a philosopher of poverty. Like, how do you this is how why are we poor? We poor because of this. And we poor because of that. And you don't have no understandings or trying to position yourself to get out of that. And these people get tens of thousands of. I mean, I don't know where these people are coming from that are paying attention to all this, and all these other teachers out here putting out books like this, putting out, books like that. And these people are not reading. They're not going to bookstores. They're not going to libraries. And, they're, one or two books or whatever they've read, and they've run with the poverty philosophy. And they have really, truly damaged a large percentage of our community that unfortunately most of these people, and they're going to stay. And this, let me just read something. This check yourself. This is all right. This is one part. They talk about, you already know what it is, don't need to keep explaining. Mostly as lazies. Oh, wait a minute, let me get to the book. It said, check yourself, reconsider, and reevaluate. I'm saying it's best you can get out of any experience, good or bad. We all know whatever doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. So we might as well live like we're not scared of setbacks. But that doesn't mean we move through life making the same dumb mistakes over and over and then shaking it off like nothing happened. Life is about growth and development, change and transformation, consideration, reevaluation. As we live, we learn, and as we learn, we live better. If you're not following that process, I can't imagine how deep hole you must have dug for yourself by now. So I'm really gonna have to challenge these individuals. Unfortunately, Dr. Boyce Watkins, whom I respect, who should have, really, kept challenging these individuals. Uh, because I mean, and maybe he's not, in the best position to do that, but you know, he built that platform for these individuals to actually be out there and really poisoning the minds of our people into mass ignorance, into poverty consciousness, and frustration and anger and excuse making. But you know, I mean, we got to be done with that. We have to be done with that. Absolutely, Janice. Unfortunately, there are individuals who remain truly remain stuck, in a poverty psychology. So we're gonna build on that. So I'm doing this both, you know, on YouTube. So open, yes, do share. Again, progress is always being made here on my end. Read these books. Yes, think and grow rich. Yes, stop. You can't allow for yourself to fall, continuing in a deep-rooted poverty psychology. I mean, we've had enough of that, and I hope that this Yvette Carnell uh, and Tone Talks will, evolve and grow and and stop with the poverty consciousness. It's really depressing to individuals. Everything is like poverty. We so poor. We so poor. It's like the cheering club for the poor righteous teachers. Like, really? Really, man, come on. And this is not, me having aspirations to be bourgeoisie or whatever, but once you continue to seek knowledge, you're gonna grow, you're gonna do right things. If you understand your history, you understand different forces that put you in a position, you have to be wise enough to position and reposition yourself to come out of it. And that's the problem. These people, they're not reading the right things. They're not showing up at the right places. And Boyce Watkins, unfortunately, he gave them a pass. He didn't screen them. And so, you got to screen people for you to just put people on your platform and present them out to the world. So now, you got tens of thousands of people. Uh, thank you. Let him know that he created a kind of a monster, that Yvette Carnell, with her poverty philosophy. Thanks, Janice. Yeah, Dr. Watkins. I mean, good guy. I mean, he's certainly well-meaning, but he had this woman on, and she's a philosopher of poverty, and he knows it. He knows it. I mean, I ain't telling him something he don't know, but he need to. I mean, he really need to correct that, because that's like damaging to our people. I mean, people can make all kind of excuses that they want, you know, um, and still remain where they are. So I'm just putting it out there. Again, there are better plans, better solutions. I mean, I've tried to, ask these people, what are you going to do? Like, it's just, I don't know what these people, they're not growth oriented, and we can't have that. We can't have tens of thousands of people being ignorant. So yeah. Well, I'm planting the seed to, this is, these people, they are planning some very self-destructive, mentalities, and it's I have to challenge certain things. So I just got to put them out there directly, just because folk will know who I'm talking about. But it's it reached a point where you gotta really challenge different people in terms of challenging ourselves as well. So that's all I have. I'm out. Peace out, everybody. See you all at the Natural Products Expo East, coming to Baltimore, Maryland. Dope event, dope event. Success Scholar will be present. Natural Products Expo East. And got something coming up at Bowie State coming up. All right. Holla to Success Scholar, E-Life Media, each and every Monday night. All right. Thank you. Good point. Thank you.